Oh, snaps. Oh, snaps. Alright, that was fun. It was fun. What is going on? I was confused for a second. Yo. Alright. What's going on, y'all? What is going on? Refresh the chat. See, I don't know if I could just trust this thing all the way. Because still got 2 people. I don't believe it. It's all lies. What's this? I don't need that. Alright. Slowly getting to the point of what I was trying to do. So I kind of like regular OBS. Because it got the preview and then it got what it's actually showing at the same time. Alright, man, I'm not starting this video off with any sort of fucking energy right now. Switching that up. Cool. Here. Got everything going. So, chapter 970, a very divisive chapter amongst the community. And actually the last 2 were. It was funny. The chapters was okay leading up to these last 2, but the translations was kind of whack, and now the translations kind of evened out, and we don't have to really worry about like bad translations, especially since we're getting them from like multiple sites again. Because now at first it was just, those one random dudes that was doing it for the whole community, and now it's like, we got some other people in there, and their translations aren't as bad, but the chapters aren't doing themselves any favor as well. Maybe just been randomly gassy. Want to start at the beginning because we got the viz out. Instead of me just doing a straight read through, I would just, because I kind of remember and mostly spoke on how I felt about it during my actual reaction, and then talking about it like 2-3 different places. But overall, the chapter, if it was a regular chapter and I didn't expect this to happen, it would have been higher. But everything gets ruined with hype. Because, as we all know and probably been through, you go to a movie with your friend, or you go see a movie that your friend's been hyping up for fucking ever, and then you actually get in the movie and it's not as good, but you're like additionally disappointed because not only did you see a movie that wasn't as good as you probably hoped it to be, you also had that added letdown of your friend's recommendation rank. So now it's like, okay, he could have suggested like 3 good movies before this, but then he suggests this one movie and it kind of sucks. Now you look at that, I'm like, I don't know about your taste no more, dog. So it's just that weird thing. So Oda hyped this up like in the middle, or the climax, I want to say, of Whole Cake Island. And this whole arc was supposed to be like the stuff of legends, like the stuff that will get us into, One Piece, as I won't say it's heavily, because to be honest, the One Piece community is kind of, I won't say it's as big as it's ever been, of course. Because the hypeness of One Piece back when Marineford happened can't be compared to, but the internet presence and the availability to talk to one another outside of like threads, like Reddit threads, Oral Jackson threads, Thriller Bark threads, stuff like that. YouTube was up back then, but it wasn't as prevalent. Now I feel like we are so interwoven and everything, getting a hold of one person back then was really tough, but now, you got Twitter, Instagram. Is there a community for One Piece on Instagram? I feel like we should we as content creators, even though I'm like an apprentice content creator, should like try to like move as a unit towards stuff, because I feel like all the shit King Lightning is doing now with like getting on like 4 different platforms just to spread the message of One Piece. Wah, it's kind of dope, but he's like the only one doing it. Um, I definitely got off topic with shit. One Piece. Wano's disappointing mainly because it was highly recommended by the author, and then in the last chapter he doubled down, told us once more that hey, this is about to get really flames, extra flames, but then it ended up not being extra flames, and we got Oden barely doing or barely, because the whole reason we was invested into Oden, at least from my perspective, was that he was going to be a key to unlocking not only high levels of swordsmanship, what someone from Wano could do, and also him somehow breaking the secret of Kaido. All 3 of those were resting on his shoulders. And then we got the added bonus of Oden's flashback. And once we start getting closer to the flashback, we start to put together that, oh, he was on Roger's crew. Oh, he did this. He was on Whitebeard's crew. So he had all these different roles he was supposed to play. He basically, Oden was a huge undertaking, and in being the exposition for Wano and its past. He was supposed to bring us up to speed on a lot of stuff. Oden as a character delivered on a lot of, on the information tip. For me, the information that was given through One Piece via Oda through Oden was done well. Not done well, but the pure information, not how it was done, not how it was written, not how it attached to the story, but just purely what information we got. I feel like he did that greatly and like to a T. Like we got the info, we know about Roger, we know about Whitebeard. Could have been done better, yes. Could have been written in the story in a better way, yes. But I'm talking about purely information. And then we move on to of course, how it was done, and especially with the fight with Kaido. The fight with Kaido has to be one of the most disappointing things in the last like couple years. But before I get to that, because that's more of the climax of it, we'll is it shelf or table that? I think it's both. Put on the shelf, table it. We'll table it for now, because I kind of want to go through the chapter kind of beat by beat, but I want to get to like some of the good stuff first, because I go over this little panel. I'm looking at the vids now. I'm just refreshing myself. Oden did use hockey. There's some panels that make me think that he uses observation hockey, like panel 6 and 7. You see the zoom in effect on the eye and the overshadowing of the eye. Like, that's usually done with hockey. And then we see bursts of hockey while he's slicing through people, but it looks like he's just slicing through people with hockey. But his swords aren't black. He's not putting armor hockey on the swords. I don't know if anyone else noticed this. I don't know if Oda forgot, but his swords aren't coated in hockey, which I find kind of weird and interesting. Like I don't know, Big Track. What's good, Florian? I was fucking staring at the chapter. I didn't even see your thing there. I'm about to move my chat over, because it's definitely gonna be under this flag. I'm about to reopen fucking this app. Anyway, yeah. So if you go and look at the official Viz translation, even in the regular translations, I found it weird. I didn't comment on it because I was just like kind of zipping through the chapter and taking it all in. But yeah, matter of fact, I don't think any of the scabbers do. Like, if you see a single like coated arm and hockey sword in this whole battle, please let me know, because I found that extra weird that none of them are using arm and hockey, especially Oden. Like, even when he's running, like on the next page, it's weird. But yeah, like the whole fight sequences, everything with Oden just looked dry. Like it's been said a lot during these past couple past couple days and the hundreds of streams that have been going on. Um, I've heard that a lot. It was mainly with the Kaido move when he, hit Kaido. But throughout the whole thing, none of his moves looked like cool. Like he wasn't doing anything. All we seeing is him doing this. Like he's not like there's no like transition shots. There's no like it's there's no leading up to his cuts. It's just oh I see people and I'm behind them or I'm on the side of them or I've gone through them and now I'm just chilling. And then there's like flashes of hockey, but no arm and hockey on the blade. It's all very weird. And then I gotta actually, all right, for a few quick seconds, I'm gonna call it now. Toki's evil. Toki's a traitor, and she's also emu. So I actually, it's kind of funny, my man Florian coming through with a nice transition for me. I actually want to talk about that. Um, I don't think that's true. A lot of people, even me, like I did it when I read the chapter. I legit looked at Toki like, what the fuck is going on? But I actually looked closer at the panel, and positioning is very important. So, oops, come back. Yeah, don't leave your Streamlabs up for an extended period of time because it will slow up. So, real quick, I'm gonna flash this panel and point something out to y'all. So, if you look right here, Yasue's talking to Toki. But if you look at where they're actually sitting, they're not facing each other. So it's not like Toki is looking at Yasue, looking menacing and evil. No, she's looking at Momo and getting kicked in the fucking face by Hiyori. And then you see there's child noises like by her face. So she's not. So like one, she took arrow to leg from Momo. Like she has to protect them physically and mentally as a mother. If she's sitting there looking worried, you can't do that because your children are gonna know something up. They can feel your energy. They know when shit's happening. A lot of I don't know if I'm just making up in my head, but there's a lot of like parental themes going on in Wano, especially with Oden's kind of part of it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off now. Especially with Oden's part. Like Oden having to make these tough decisions, even though there are easier ways he could have got out of it, and yeah, it could have been written better. But if we look at it, I guess from the perspective Oda's trying to give to us, parents have to act in a different way than people who don't have kids. So Toki could have been sitting there, worried, upset, letting it show all over her face, but she's looking at her kids, she's enjoying her kids, and on top of that, she has faith in Oden. She has immense faith in Oden. Like, she was like, go ahead and go with the Pirate King, do your shit, and come back. Knowing that, when you're fucking on the Pirate King ship, you go get some of the strongest people, and you could die. But she was like, man, there's some things that are like more important. So she's like riding for him, and a part of that is keeping the kids unaware of what's really going on. They probably know dad's going to go do something, but they probably don't know that everything is going on. So it's like part of a parent to shield your kids from that. And at this moment, I could be reading too much into that, but I know for a fact, just by like a simple observation, because I feel like people are under the impression because of the way the panel's actually like placed, that she's looking at Yasue being weird. But if you look up, she's actually facing her kids, like looking at her kids play and listening to Yasue. So Yasue's just like, yo, he's always like the evil, well, not the evil, but like the serious face. And she's like, all right, you go ahead and take care of the serious shit. I'm gonna take care of these kids, and I'm just gonna enjoy it because I know my nigga Odin got it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, the kids are safe. It's all safe. So that's my whole thing on that. I don't think Toki's evil. I just think this kind of was taken out of context, because like I personally haven't seen anyone talk about the fact that there's a eek and a kya kya in her panel, and she's looking at that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, placement's everything. But I don't want to spend too much time on Toki. I just want to get out. The reason why I say this is that she has the time fruit. She probably knows the outcome of the future. Okay, I'm gonna speak on that, and I'm gonna read the rest of these. Florian, that is an interesting take as well. I don't know if the time fruit allows you to see the future. We don't really know what it does. All we know is it allows you to go into the future, and since you can't come back and then have, since you only go forward, you'll never know what's gonna happen because you're always going to it instead of seeing it. Maybe there's some kind of crazy awakening where it lets you see it, but that's a jump, and I don't want to jump all the way to okay, she's all of a sudden Madam Shirley times 10. Like we don't want to go that deep right off the jump. And Film, what up, Film? Can I join Discord chat? That's why she wants Oden to go with Roger. Hmm. Well, I mean, I think anyone could have seen that one Odin really wanted to go, and that was his whole thing in life. Like she spent enough time with him, and I'm sure he talked to her, and he talked to her about how he really feels about shit and all this, that, and the third, and she probably told him all about Wano. I admit that she's hiding something because I like, it, either Oda didn't really do a good job fleshing out the relationship between Odin and Toki and didn't really let us know that they pretty much talked about everything going on in their life, because it seems like the only thing Toki told them was, hey, I'm from super far in the past and I'm just here now. In that panel, we didn't even get anyone asking, how is that possible? When are you from? Where are you from in the past? What was this place like in the past? Like none of that. Like no one was curious about I'm about to say interdimensional, like time travel. No one was interested. It was weird. So either they had that conversation later because they had time to have a whole fucking kid. Like I would assume that they at least talked about like her abilities. So I don't think that's the whole thing, but that's just me. And yeah, Film. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna have a Discord discussion after this, but if we do, man, you can hop in. She sent the four samurai into the future. She must have knew. She must have knew about the future. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how that's true. Like, if the whole thing about your fruit is that you get to go into the future, like it doesn't like automatically give you other abilities related to the future. It's like your ability is you can go into the future. Period. That's it. You know what I mean? Like I said, unless there's an additional ability she's not telling us about, and if she's not telling us about it, that means we don't know about it. We can just kind of spitball, but I don't know where the basis of being able to see the future and then go into the future. How does that connect? Like I think it's just one ability to go. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge leap of faith. Like you can stay where you at, or you can go in the future. You know what I mean? And that's it. So, and I think that she sent them into the future because she escaped whatever she was in by going to the future. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's like a area. You know what would be interesting if when she does go to the future, it's like she can make an area and it'd be like kind of like a time pad, and you just step in the area, and then if you're there when like maybe the timer goes off, or when she allows it, that's when it happens. And then maybe when she was traveling into the future this time, how she was getting chased by those fucking like sex trafficking people, whoever the fuck they were trying to capture her. Maybe they were from the past too, and she tried to go to the future, but they like somehow got inside like the time area and then went with her, like something like that. So it's like if she could control like the area and who's ever in that area going to the future, because if it works like how I think it works, she would, it would be weird if she couldn't like control it to a certain extent, because she can send other people, but she doesn't have to go with them. You know what I'm saying? Like she's the catalyst, like she's making it happen, but she doesn't have to be the epicenter of the little circle. So she has a certain degree of control because she can send people and not have to go herself, unless that's what we've been led to believe. Maybe she actually had to go with them, but she just hasn't revealed herself. For a minute, I thought Kumurasaki was Toki posing as her daughter, and then saying her daughter was a little pink haired girl, Otoko or fucking Otama, one of them. But was not the truth. It's kind of crazy, but I can't wait to see like what the relationship is between Momo and Kumurasaki now that she's 20 years older and all that. Like will we see her drop kick Momo? If they meet up and they ain't drop kicked each other, I mean she ain't drop kick him, it may not be her, man. That panel might also be another hint, like fucking Toki looking at them drop kick, Hiyori drop kick Momonosuke. That may be a little hint. Like next chapter after next, we might flash back forward to the future, and then we may see the same panel, but Hiyori's not doing anything. It's like weird. But I mean, she's like huge now. So if you fucking drop kick a little kid and you're like 22, that's kind of wild. But anyway, I'm just gonna skip past the hatred I have for what's her name, Shinobu and her like 3-4 panels that she got for no reason. I actually saw someone had put something up where it was like you could see Tama and other not Tama, but Shinobu and like other panels and stuff, like throughout the country. Like if you look in the past, there'll be like random panels with Shinobu just in the background. But I'm like, I don't know if I care about Shinobu that much. Like I don't know why. Like she would have to have that traitor like storyline, and that's the only reason it'd be important because you get to see how Oden saved her life, but she still somehow betrayed him. But that's not as disappointing as King and Queen running around with this giant poison baseball bat, and King like somehow having to fight. Oh, here's another random theory I had. So what's his name? We see Raizo kind of jumping over Kinemon and what's his name? Kinemon and bro, the dude, Denjiro, and Raizo has a sword, and then the immediate next panel, this man is fighting King, and he doesn't have a sword anymore. He's just low diffed, and then battle, and then we see oh boy, actually no. I was gonna talk about Raizo maybe being a traitor, but the Pale's panel's too far apart. I would say maybe Raizo was the one to stab Ashidoji in the back, but yeah. It's like it's loosely tied. It's not as closely tied as I would want it to be. Oh, and the name of the attack. Well, I don't know if it changed, but Paradise Totsuka. So this. Let me just flash it up real quick. This shit, anger, no fluidity. Who do you think will fight Orochi? Who do I think will fight Orochi? Alright, so there's two schools of thought in my mind for who can fight Orochi. Because we have to look at him like he could be a bitch, like 100%. He only has the swords to show off. I think we have enough evidence to say that Orochi might just be a bitch and can't fight. Now, who's more deadly? The son of a monster who trained a little bit with Zoro, he can train with his dad, but all the scabbards around can train him. He's been training himself. I don't think Momo has been training in the woods for no reason. You know what I mean? Like I think he actually like his dad was doing shit. Like I think his dad set up enough precedent for us to not be as surprised if Momo comes out of nowhere with random strength. You know what I mean? Like if Momo randomly just has the ability to like throw Orochi over his head, we know it wasn't any precedent before this, but at the same time it's like he could have like I guess activated his bloodline if he trained more, something like that, like kind of dug into who he is. Because before I feel like Momo wasn't like too keen on who he was as far as like the fighter in him, you know, like he was more on the emotional side. But I felt like it was so strong because he fed into that all the time, and everything that happened to him, he wasn't able to like live comfortably and accept who he is. I felt like Odin kind of did that a lot. Like Odin was nothing really bad happened to him in his childhood. It wasn't like his fault already. Like he was just doing shit himself. You know what I mean? And Momo has that in him. So like having that pulled out by like a dire situation, you know what I mean? Like maybe Orochi takes another hostage. Like first time it was Kumasaki's sister. He might do it again, and that might like enrage him. And then we'll see Odin's side come out, and then it'll be Kumarasaki who wants to kill Orochi, and it would be Momo who wants to kill Orochi, and then Zoro will be there like he'll be leading the charge. He would be fended off by Kyoshiro, and then both of them come in. But both of them come in. I think Momo probably going to use the Amino Hibakiri, and Kumarasaki they may like do some cool shit where they toss it back and forth to each other. Like one of them gets caught and the other one go like here, and they start fucking slicing, and then they pass it back. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, and they're just cutting off heads. I feel like that'd be dope. Like a lot of people is like, what? Momo, he's just a little kid. Like Orochi is a bitch. Yes, he has the mythical zone fruit. But I don't. I feel like you have to like hone it to be good. Like I feel like I feel like there could be someone with Marco's fruit that could be sorry. You know what I mean? Like if you don't train your fruit and use it to your full potential and get observation hockey to get out of the way and get armament to block things you can't dodge and fucking awaken your fruit to use it to its full potential. If you don't do those things, no matter what fruit you got, you probably still gonna be sorry. So I feel like that's like Orochi's whole thing. You know what I mean? Like Oda had a nice little he would like is he or is he not badass? But I think at this point we know he's a bitch. He is a bitch. When Odin came up to him, if he was really about that action, he would at least try to pull his sword out. He was just sitting there like, I don't want no smoke. So I feel like if Momo roll up on Orochi, it's gonna be the same. Like he might get that overconfidence at first, like, oh, it's just a little kid, and then he come with the she song, it'd be a different story. So and that's one school of thought. Orochi being a bitch. Orochi not being a bitch, I could feel like, you know what I mean, after Zoro beats Kyoshiro, he'll then have to save Momo or Kumarasaki or both from him. And maybe what's his name? Maybe Momo will get his own moment to whereas it's actually him like basically buying time for Zoro to save them. So like they'll be fighting but not as successful as in the first one where it's actually Momo and Kurosaki taking down Orochi, and then Kyoshiro, who's actually strong, fight Zoro. Since those people are all in the same sphere of shit going down, I could see that. So it'll be Zoro taking on Orochi and Kyoshiro, giving him two fights for the price of one, and him having to fight a mythic zone, even though he ain't shit. So it'd be like Orochi holding Momo and holding Kumarasaki and attacking with his other, like, what, he got 8 heads, so other 6 heads are like helping Kyoshiro attack. It'd be kind of like Yukimaru and whoever else he was fucking fighting, Killer. It'd be like that. So I feel like a lot of Zoro's fights, like that might be foreshadowing, because like Yukimaru was nowhere near on the level of Zoro, but Killer was matching Zoro even with his nerfs. So it was like that could have been a foreshadowing to, oh, bitch ass Orochi is Yukimaru and Killer is Kyoshiro, and then he's actually having a real fight with Kyoshiro while fucking old boy Orochi's in the back just fucking snapping at him with his fucking heads and shit. So I can see that. I feel like both of those would be a good way to go about it. Like I don't really see a problem with I really don't see a problem with either of those things happening, because I feel like Zoro needs more fights. So if Zoro gets like a double fight, that's dope. Or Zoro just fights Kyoshiro. He still gets a fight, and Momo gets to develop more. Maybe he'll come on the crew. Zoro, that'll be Luffy's official like Shanks. You know, Shanks or Buggy. Well, not Buggy. I feel because it's like the relationship between Roger and Luffy's crew parallel, that'll finally be fleshed out more because he'll have an actual kid on the crew, kind of like Roger did. And I think that'd be dope if Momo, someone who can hold his own against Orochi, even though he was a bitch, he has a mythical Zoan fruit, one of the strongest or one of the rarest fruits, and he has actual sword skills. Now that he actually like serious in training, and then you see Momo with like baby weights in the crow's nest with fucking Zoro lifting like fucking curling camels, and I said curling camels and shit for no reason, like stuff like that. Like that will be cool. That'd be a cool dynamic, and hopefully give us more reason to actually stay on the ship and like be with the Straw Hats just shooting the shit, because we have to like develop Momo and like, because I feel like whenever we get like a new crewmate, we have to be on the ship for a while to kind of show off all their quirks and whatnot. You know what I mean? At least I hope that's the way to do it. Now I hope this whole super fast pace shit doesn't last too long. But yeah, so that was that whole thing. The cut from Oden disappointed a lot of people. At first, I didn't even see the lightning. I did not see it. It was weird. So I thought he just cut him without it. But then the detail on the whole thing instantly made me remember what Luffy said about the scales, because I was like, oh shit, you can see his scales, and it kind of have the same pattern as his like chest tattoo of the scales. I don't even know if that's a tattoo or like some kind of other thing. But then I was like, okay, so just like, you know, Smaug from Lord of the Rings, he has a weak point, but his weak point is like, looks like it's more. There's a lot. If his whole bottom is an actual weak spot, that'd be kind of like a big disadvantage, because no one's gonna be above Kaido coming in from the below. It would be someone coming in from the front or the bottom of him. So that'd be like the worst weakness to have, is just that'd be like the worst weakness to have as a flying dragon monster. Like your fucking stomach is exposed. But then you continue to look at it, and this man still ain't got hockey on his sword. Like maybe you can say he has hockey on his swords while he's flying past, you know, Kaido. But that could be blood. That could be just, you know, them trying to draw the back part of the sword, because that usually has the black and the front is silver because it's honed. And it's just fucking, it's so whack. It's so whack. Never come back to Wano. Now, this could be just like a line. It really wouldn't have to be anything. It really doesn't mean anything, but to me, it kind of seemed like, yeah, it looked like he was going in for like a finishing move, but I feel like he was like more like kind of not finishing him off in the way of killing him, because he probably was thinking about killing him, but it just kind of seemed like he was gonna let that nigga live. Like he said, never come back to Wano. So that just hit me like, oh, he doesn't want to kill Kaido. He just wants to beat him so bad that he doesn't want to, you know, come back, which is dumb. And then the thing that, you know, rocked the world. They both got one hit in, but one stayed up and one did not. Momo randomly on the battlefield. Fucking Oden. Nani? And then somehow the literal fastest transformation in One Piece history. He was a full dragon. We didn't see the shrink side. He was still a dragon when, at this bottom panel on page 12, when Oden, like, as soon as the fucking dude said, stop right there, Oden, help father. Right there, Kaido was still a dragon. He's not shrinking. We don't see the shrinking little emojis. And then 2 words, father, Momo, and he didn't even get to finish Momonosuke, because I don't even know if he was going to say Momonosuke. Just only he was going to say Momo. and this nigga somehow transformed back into regular Kaido fast enough to hit this motherfucker over the head. That's wild. That's wild and crazy. And then fucking Oden passes the fuck out. So that made me think about the possibility of Kaido being a beast still, even now, 20 years ago. He has all the makings of being like, you know, a Yonko because his crazy ass strength. But it's like, I feel like he added something during the 20-year time skip. I feel like he added the defense that he has now. Because I don't want to say it doesn't make sense because he got defeated before, but he doesn't have any other scars. So he wasn't defeated by, he wasn't defeated by sword cuts. You know what I mean? Because most of Kaido's body is exposed. Like, you can see everything. And I doubt him getting cut in the leg or something will make him pass the fuck out. I feel like whatever Oden did, that was maybe, I don't want to say the first time it happened, but it had to be a rare occurrence in Kaido's entire, like, line. Like his entire, like backstory. Like, I feel like him getting beat was, like, maybe he got, like, clapped. Like, like, the same way he clapped Luffy, I feel like he got clapped that same way. And then whatever made him or gave him that magical, essence for him came later. Maybe it was Law's Api Api no Mi predecessor. I don't know which one, but I just don't feel like the Kaido now is the Kaido we see in the future. And if it is, not if it is, but if the only way Kaido was able to get his invincible shit was because no one with strong enough haki was able to penetrate it or penetrate him, and all he did was get his haki stronger, I feel like that takes away from the lore of Kaido. Now, I heard another interesting theory about Kaido and how when Oden defeated him, it kind of started his drinking problems. You know what I mean? Because I'm not 100% sure. But I don't think in the regular translation that Oden said anything about empty line drinking yourself to sleep. Oh, okay, never mind. He been had that drinking problem. I don't know. I just feel like the mansions and how his crew set up. Like, I feel like Oden has, not Oden, but Kaido has something to do with, like, fame, stardom, maybe being a diva. Oh, shit. Film said something. That would be really awesome. You think King will be a serious fight for Zoro? I feel like, yeah. I feel like, just like previous chapters in One Piece, there's kind of a main cast that's focused on. There's lore and world building being thrown in the background, and then there's whatever Luffy's going through. So it's like the three main things of like a One Piece arc. Whatever the fuck Luffy's doing, the main cast and their problems beside Luffy, and lore and world building. Just every arc. Those three things get covered fucking to no end. And I feel like Zoro is in that main cast that needs to be expounded upon. Just like Whole Cake was the Germa family, including Sanji, Big Mom, Katakuri, Capone. Those were like the fucking the main people being like shadowed and talked about. And I feel like Zoro has the least about that. Like it's happening. Like we're getting Zoro and a possible love interest. Zoro and a new sword. Zoro fighting basically one of the bosses of the place. It's mainly Zoro, because Kaido's the boss of everything. Like, Luffy always handles the bosses of everything, but then there's like people under the bosses of everything that everyone else will have a problem with. So it's like King will be a problem for some reason. Queen might start poisoning people's food, and that may piss Sanji off. And then Orochi doing all his shit killed Yasue, and that flimsy ass relationship between Zoro and Yasue gets exploited, and then boom. So I feel like King is just another one of those main cast people. Not main cast, but Zoro's main cast, and I feel like he's going to get more than one fight this chapter. Just because he doesn't really have anything else to focus on. All he focused on is being strong. Sanji had cooking and love and his family to worry about. Zoro's fighting. So whereas we got like kind of like a half a fight with Sanji, like Sanji got like a lot of skirmishes and like showing different parts of him, and I feel like we're gonna show different parts of Zoro with him cutting King's fire, him slicing off a bunch of Orochi's heads, and whoever else needs to be dealt with. You know what I mean? Because we already got a fight with Killer, so Zoro might get 3 fights this arc, 3 fights with actual conclusions, while Sanji got like a fight and a half, and none of them had conclusions. It's just like what different characters we focused on. So yeah, I feel like Zoro definitely is gonna fight King just because it was mentioned before how he wanted to cut fire, and Luffy's gonna be too busy with Kaido. Now if Luffy fights King, that'd be kind of whack. I wouldn't like that. But yeah. So Kaido knocked out Luffy, which has crazy durability. Oden, took a shot from Roger and was still up. I doubt it was as serious. Like Roger wasn't trying to kill him. Like I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know. I feel like Kaido didn't consider life or death. He just hit him. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to hit him just enough to knock him out. I don't know if he would even care if died. If Oden died from that hit, you know what I mean? He's like, oh well, he's weak. So yeah, it was just weird, Kaido having all this destructive power and capability to knock out one of the toughest people in the verse at that moment. Like, all you see is veins on the way down. That's what this nigga is. Now, one of the more interesting things about this shit is what is his name? Ashura Doji. Ashura Doji getting stabbed in the back. So we have our white beard moment. It was weird. It was really weird about this. Either the rest of the scabbards were hurt, or for some reason those two were the only two close enough to see it. Because Raizo was fighting King, Denjiro and Kinemon was fighting King. Wait a minute. Got it. We must do read. Oh yeah, it was Kanjiro and Denjiro. So 1, 2, and then I don't even know where the fucking cat. And then yeah, there's oh, it's in I can't remember his name. The fucking Fishman guy and Dogstorm. So during the fight, everyone is actually accounted for except for Nekomamushi. Like if you go from the beginning of the fight, you see everyone fighting someone, or at least jumping in the battle, except for the fucking cat. So, in Urashi, the fishman whose name escapes me, I want to say Kinemon, because Kinemon, we'll say Kinemon, Denjiro, Kanjiro, Raizo, and then Ashura Doji. I think Shinobu's counted in that. So Shinobu, and yeah, like we don't see the cat. The cat could be the traitor, cause someone stabbed Ashura Doji in the back, and we don't really see who it is. As far as I'm concerned, gotta double check the fizzity facts. But yeah, one, it was weird. I don't know if he just didn't have the panel space to show it, but only Kinemon and Ashura Doji reacted to Oden getting fucking clubbed in the back of the head, and then someone stabs Ashradoji. Why this was never brought up is weird to me. And a lot of people thought this was King because of the random, like, whoever's standing there with the spikes. I don't know whose hairstyle looks like that. I don't know if that's like someone yelling, like it's a bird beak, or that's King's spikes. But either way, the hand isn't black that's stabbing him. You know what I mean? And he was fighting Raizo. So that's just a random. I don't know if that panel's ever gonna be explained. Like, I really don't. And yeah, I'm looking at people's hands, trying to see if I can find any markings. Because whoever stabbed him, either that was the hilt drawn badly, or they're wearing like a bracelet or something. Because you see the hand grabs, you see the hilt, the hand grab, and then there's something around the wrist, and then the rest of the arm. And I'm just confused as to who this is. And I feel like it may be a hint as to who the traitor is, because it was also another weird thing. Oden never said anything about the traitor. Like, hey, I got a fucking traitor in your midst, because I'm here at the same time you're marching to kill me. Someone got information back. Yep, and you see the cat right here. You see the cat at the top of the hill, but nobody. Wait. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I forgot about Okiku. We didn't see Okiku. Is Okiku the traitor? That's wild. Damn, we just overlooked Okiku. I see at the beginning. It looks like everyone's fighting. Of course it would if they're trying to blend in, but it's just like, bro, I want to say a couple of these people wasn't explained like where they actually were. But yeah, those got to be two top candidates, Nekomamushi and Kiku. Yeah, man, go back and skim the chapter. See if you can find it yourself. I didn't have, an immense amount of things to say about the chapter. Okay, let's go with the rating. The rating I gave it. Because of the hype up and how it all ended and all the questions it spawned, I would have to give it, shit. I gave it a 6. The fight was disappointing. The fight with Kaido was disappointing, but I still got to see, a cool panel. So I'm trying to scrape points together however I can. Got a good panel. Still some mysteries going on. I'm kind of tired of mysteries. If you're tired of mysteries too, you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean. Like the feeling of, okay, this was a good thing at first, keeping the reader guessing, but doing that at every turn just seems like now that's the only way you know how to write. Like, that's the only way you know how to get our attention. Like, mystery should be mixed in with 2 to 3 other different things that make stories interesting. Like, it shouldn't just be, okay, my thing is mystery. At every single chance I get, there's going to be a mystery for the sake of mystery. Why is King and Queen in silhouette? If the answer is purely mystery and not because it sets up 2 or 3 other things, then it's just mystery to be mystery, and that's trash. This traitor, have we been getting clear and concise hints to where we can look back and be like, you right? Or, because a mystery isn't a real mystery if you just have no leads, like, at all. Like you get maybe one lead 20 chapters ago, and there's no suspicious panels anywhere for us to pick up on. Then it's not fun. We can't, like, play along. It's just, we could have never put these two together because we never got the panel explaining with them like fucking doing this in the corner. Like we just need one or two of these, and we'll be like, hmm. Or like some missteps in words, or it's like, oh yeah, shit, I fucking forgot my social security, and then some dude fucking walking past, oh it's no. I'm like, wait, when did I tell you my so? It's like a that kind of moment, something. Oh, film. That'd be cool if Jozu joined the fight while Marco guards the Whitebeard Island. I want to see the dynamic of the Marco's crew now. Like, do they still sail under a crew together? Did they break off? Are they like branch Whitebeard crews now? Like Jozu may got a crew with a couple of niggas he liked from the crew, and then some random people from his hometown, something like that. Are they all like old disheveled people? Are they all like amputees missing arms and legs? How many died? How many like mentally can't go on after losing Whitebeard and then losing to the dude who took Whitebeard from you? Like we could have little splashes of that, but it's just nothing. It's just Marco feeling good. The nigga got his ass beat and went and got some prescription fucking shades, and it's just like, what? The inner turmoil. What's going on with the inner turmoil? So it was like a whole bunch of stuff like that. That just kind of, Jozu joined. Oh, Jozu fights on Marco Guard. It'd be weird to get Jozu when we've kind of been led down the Marco path. You know what I mean? It's like we're getting like a bench player for a star player, and it was like supposed to be happy about it. It's like, no, I would have a feeling it's like when people buy home tickets to go see LeBron and they saved up all year, and it's like, finally I get to take my son to go see LeBron, and LeBron's on like low management, like shit like that, and now we got to deal with fucking Kyle Kuzma or some shit, or whoever the fuck is on the Lakers. Man, fucking Lakers, man. R.I.P. Kobe though, always. Let me gather my last thoughts here to make sure I don't miss anything for my peoples I want to talk about. Oh, we got at the end. So, this is, I don't want to say this could be like a double meaning type of thing, but it's like it could be when Kinemon is like, yo, I don't know who she is. She's no vassal of mine. Aren't you after my life? This is one of those like cases where it's like, okay, this nigga obviously is doing that for her benefit. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to get her out of here. You ain't on my crew, nigga. But it's like, what if she actually, you know what I mean? Like maybe he figured out during the battle that she was betraying him. Cause if, oh shit, wait a minute. Yeah, like if we found out during the battle that she did betray him, that could be some shit. But the hand that we saw had the fucking black gloves. Well, what the fuck is his name? Why do I keep forgetting these people's names? Shinobu has on black gloves, and that hand we saw didn't have black gloves on. And we only see her hand like once or twice. And even as a kid, she's wearing the fucking fingerless ninja gloves, so it couldn't be her. Okay, so that theory just fuck that theory. But yeah, biggest takeaway for this chapter for me, I don't think Otoko's the traitor, because like I said before, the way she was looking wasn't at Yasue, it was at the kids playing, so it wasn't a sinister, weird face. She was just keeping a strong, motherly face for her kids and genuinely enjoying seeing them drop kick each other for some reason. And Oden needs more build up for his attacks. I need him to say some shit. I need him to stand in a cool stance for a minute and gather his chi. I need something. These like shots of him already in the air looking at someone and then being behind them in the air after a cut is just whack. I need to see blood. I need to see action lines. I need to feel the fucking hits. I feel like Odin is like the lightest character in terms of that. Yeah, who is Odin? What up? Oh, that boy Hype Beast in the chat. Who is this? Who is Odin? Bro, Odin, you can't, Odin. BB, you can't disown Odin just because of not too hot writing. It's not right. And I want to say Odin will have a bigger role to play in the future, but it might not be the case. It might have nothing to do with Odin in the next after this flashback. I don't know if Odin's going to be relevant, so it might not even be that big a deal for him to not be, Here we go. It might not be such a big deal for them to for Odin to be a fleshed out character. I feel like maybe Oda got a little lazy with Odin, because it's like, oh, in the flashback, and they got one more part, and I ain't really got to do shit after that. Odin is the trash human from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Savagery, man. I'm not gonna lie. The no weight behind Odin slashes and the weird decisions he makes, not a fan. Not a fan at all. Oh, and another thing, we see Haki coming off his blades and his slashes, but his blades are never coated in Haki. Is this like the next step in Haki? You know what I mean, or something? Because I really don't see how this man was able to cut Kaido without his blades being completely black. Nah, Valley, I gotta stay consistent because I did the same for Sanji, and yeah, I feel it. Luckily, we won't have to see Odin too much after this, but at the same time, this was supposed to be his flashback. This man didn't use Conqueror's Haki once. He had multiple chances. He doesn't cover his blades in Haki. His attacks have no weight behind them. It's just a lot of negatives. And then people are still mad about that dancing in the street thing. Dancing in the street. But I don't know if that's like the biggest knock for Odin, dancing in the street. I think the biggest knock for Odin, the character, like not saying it's his fault, but like through Odin we were supposed to be able to see one of the hypest fights in the series, and it lasted 2 panels. It's just not. It doesn't bode well for the rest of One Piece, or the rest of Wano, because the next arc could be, Elbath or some shit, and then he could be going off an old folks tale story scheme. Like, how everyone's kind of like, okay, he's doing Kabuki play now, he might go through another writing scheme, just doing random shit. You know how artists sometimes change up their flow just to challenge themselves, like weird shit like that. Like Oda's like, oh, I could write in One Piece fashion and blow motherfuckers away, but I want to write a Kabuki play, and now I want to write a Greek tragedy, and now I want to write an African folktale. Just like he's just switching it up. How did Kaido instant transform to his human form? It's extra weird, bro. It's extra weird. Now, one theory I always try to stand by is not Odin, but Kaido. Kaido actually being in his fucking, what the fuck is it called, hybrid state. Kaido being in his hybrid state like all the time. Like every time he goes back or transforms back, he doesn't go into human form. He just goes straight into hybrid. Like, and maybe that helps with the speed, because it's like you're already half dragon or half dinosaur, and then you just gotta poop, and it can like increase the speeds of it, because it's be like, say if like humans always at the end, the animal form is in the middle, and the hybrid's like on the far right. So if you want to transform back into human real quick, or if he ever does, or back into full dragon, it's easier than just transforming into human and going all the way to hybrid, or going all the way to animal form. I don't know. I feel like that'd be a cool way, cause it like kind of reminds me of Marco. Like Marco had that semi hybrid form where he had the wings and the feet, but he still had the regular head. I feel like there's a form. I feel like that allowed him to, you know, because he's born as a okay boomer, because he's born as a human. So his easiest, like the form he understands the most is human. You know what I mean? So the more human he's like, the easier it is for him to fight, or the more, well, like the easier it is for him to do, like, shit that he's used to, like punches or kicks. But now he has the ability to flight, and then he can use. I'm guessing he uses healing ability whenever, you know what I mean. Or it could be he only regens instantly when he's in Phoenix form, and then if he's in human form and get hits on his human part, then he has to heal that with his Phoenix part. Like, it's not like he's a Logia and every time he gets hit it just stitches back up. It could be like on the human part and just go through the Phoenix part, and he can use the Phoenix part to heal the human part, kind of like that. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty dope. Like that would show some insane mastery over the fruits to where we haven't, because we've seen people master paramecia fruits. We've seen people master Logias, because that was like one of the first ones we kind of got with the whole mastery thing. I feel like a true master of a zone fruit will be able to do shit like Chopper, like just switch from forms effortlessly, or just stay in one form for, an extended amount of time. Because I don't know if it was ever said that being in a certain state, you know what I mean, like, took energy from you. Like, does it take energy for Kaido to be in dragon form? Just like, like you got to think about it. Like would Ace have a hard time maintaining a flame? You know what I mean? Like once you get to a certain point, like, yeah, I think even Ace said it. Like, he trained his body to where he auto goes into Logia whenever he gets hit in certain areas, or something like that. Like, eventually it becomes like breathing, and then when you have people like Kaido, who's like legendary and shit like that, just staying in a certain state for a long period of time. I don't know if that's like, for him, I don't even know if that's a feat. At this point, it might just be normal shit. He might not like the way he looks as a human, and he might look more beastly as a hybrid. I don't know, but those are my thoughts on the chapter. And shouts out to everybody who came through. Finn, Florian, Hype Beast, as always, I appreciate it. I just wanted to throw out some thoughts real quick about the chapter. And yeah, so I am going to, you mean Crocodile Nice? Oh, did Crocodile say that about breaking his body apart? Wow, I suppose. I swore it was Ace, but I mean, they all, I'm guessing, had to done it. I thought that, it was automatic anyway. Like, I thought if they got hit, it just goes to fire. Because I don't think Akainu knew he was about to get hit from a crocodile. I think he just got his shit cut off, and he was like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know, because if that same thing was done with hockey, that might be a terrible decision, just letting your head get cut off because you believe it's gonna attach back on, but it actually isn't. So if you had the chance to block everything, if you were Logia, would you? Or would you, like, every now and then let something hit you just to get the fire effect? But yeah, it's been an hour. Got my little spiel out. I need to actually work on actual videos, but who wants to do that? I might stream again, give some more thoughts about other stuff, or get back to my Hunter x Hunter read through, or my Berserk, or start a new one. One of those three things. But thank y'all for coming through, and I'm out. And I'm out like a light. You know what? Go to YouTube and do